Art of Sports here with Michael Conlin, 2016 Irish Olympian. 2012 too, yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. First of all, you're here, Carson, California, training with Manny Robles. Tell us how that's going, you and Manny.
Yeah, it's going great. I think me and Manny have gelled as soon as I stepped into the gym, and usually for me it takes a bit of time to get used to a new coach, but I got used to him right away. It was like training with my father back home. You could have fun, but he was still the boss, and I've really enjoyed it here. I feel like I've found a new home.
You're signed with Top Rank, one of the bigger signings coming out of the Olympics. First, let's talk about the Olympics a little bit. You got a lot of attention, kind of with your your reaction afterwards and when the interview afterwards. Tell us how that whole situation went for you.
Yeah, I think everybody's seen what happened, and everybody agreed with my thoughts on the decision. And I kind of went a bit mad and flipped the bird to the judges, and then I came out in my post-fight interview. I don't know what was going through my head. I was going crazy. My whole dream had been ripped away from me. My number one dream since I was a kid, since I started watching the big games, to be Olympic champion, had been torn away by some horrendous judging. And I spoke my true emotions, and I don't regret it one bit. I might have said some bad words, but we're adults. It's boxing. You're watching a person get punched. If you can't hear a bad word, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. If you can't handle bad language in boxing, you're watching the wrong sport for sure. And that kind of became your trademark a little bit, because we saw when you signed with Bob Arum, you guys both looked off the camera. Tell us how that was, meeting Bob Arum and kind of taking that picture and all that.
Yeah, meeting Bob was surreal. Bob's a legend. Everybody in the world knows who Bob Arum is. Probably the most famous promoter in the world, and definitely the best. And when I walked into the office, Bob was the guy giving me the fingers and laughing. So, it was like kind of them guys' idea, Top Rank's idea, that we'll flip off the camera and say amateur hour is over and stuff. So it was great. It was fun. I really enjoyed it, and signing with Top Rank is unbelievable. I'm with the best team in boxing.
Speaking of just being signed and all that, obviously your pro debut, a lot of people are looking forward to it. Give us any information you can on when the fans can see you in your pro debut.
Yeah, you gotta tune in now, but it's on March 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day, in Madison Square Garden, the theatre. I'm headlining the show, so I'm main event, and it's like for Mexican fighters fighting on Cinco de Mayo. I'm fighting on St. Patrick's Day, which is our bank holiday, and I'm really looking forward to it.
What's that like, man? I mean, you're fighting at Madison Square Garden, obviously where Ali fought. It's the mecca of boxing, and you're headlining on your pro debut. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of Irish fans there. Tell us what that whole idea of that event is like for you.
It's definitely surreal. My manager Matthew Macklin of MGM, the highlight of his career was fighting Sergio Martinez on St. Patrick's Day in Madison Square Garden, March 17th. 5 years to the day, which I will fight there. And I'm doing it in my debut. I'm headlining also there on St. Patrick's Day. It's very, very surreal, but I think at the minute I'm not worried about it, but I'm not nervous or nothing. But maybe when the time comes, I'll start to get a bit of nerves just because of the amount of people. It's definitely going to sell out. There's thousands coming from Ireland, and then we've got so much Americans and Irish Americans coming down to watch. It's going to be fantastic.
I definitely want to get your take on just the Irish fight scene. You guys are making a lot of noise right now. First, your stablemate here and a buddy of yours, Jason Quigley's going to be fighting. He's a big middleweight prospect. Tell us your relationship with him.
Yeah, I was on the amateur team with Jason. We had been to many trips together, and then Jason turned pro just before the Olympics and stuff. After he'd won a silver medal at the Worlds in 2013, and he's doing a great job. Punches very hard, and he just keeps winning, man. He beat his last fight was against De La Rosa, who gave Curtis Stevenson a hard fight, and I think Jason's up there with them guys, and that's the kind of step he's ready for next.
Is that part of the reason why you ended up here at the Rock? Because Jason Quigley's here, kind of nudged you over here?
Yeah, that was partly one of the reasons. But I've been watching Manny since he was a coach of the LA Matadors, so a very long time, and I've always liked his work. And then I've seen him working I've seen the fighters in the gym, like Jesse Magdaleno, who's my weight division, Oscar Valdez, Emilio Sanchez, all these guys who are there or thereabouts in my weight division. So I thought the sparring is going to be one of the main factors also. And then I've watched Manny on the pods, and I think he's a fantastic coach. And as soon as I started doing pods with him, I felt that we were just clicked right away. And I'm really happy I came here.
That's awesome, man. Definitely want to get your take. Obviously, a big fight that just happened in Madison Square Garden, the first with the UFC, Conor McGregor. Do you know Conor, and what did you think about his performance that night?
Yeah, I do. I know Conor. I brought Conor's sparring partners in for Nate Diaz. That was my friends and stuff. So I know Conor quite well now. He's a gentleman of a person. When you meet him face to face, he's so down to earth and so humble. It's fantastic. But as a fighter, he turns it on. He brings the show, and he's turned the world of MMA upside down and put UFC on the map again. I thought UFC was starting to fade away until Conor McGregor came. And he's the only reason I tune in and watch UFC. He's a fantastic fighter. He destroyed Eddie Alvarez. And whatever's next for him, I wish him all the success.
I was just going to ask you, what do you think is next for him? I mean, he's a featherweight champion, lightweight champion now. What's next?
I think maybe he'll stay at lightweight. I don't know, but he likes to have the two belts. I don't think he'll relinquish. He might move down. If he moves down, he'll have to fight Aldo, and I think he beats Aldo again. If he stays there, who's next? The Russian kid. We'll beat some more Russians again. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of weight classes, you said you're fighting at Jesse Magdaleno at 122. So you're going to be staying there for a little while? Are you comfortable there?
Yeah, I want to win a world title at 122, move up to 126 and do the same job. Win another world title at 126, and my goal is to win 3 world titles at 3 different weights. So, if I can move up to 130 after that, win a world title, I'll achieve that goal. But I truly believe I'll win the 2 anyway. I'll win junior featherweight and featherweight.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for the time, man. Looking forward to covering you in the future, and appreciate it, man. Thank you.